Hello! Today we will be diving into the concept of adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators in more detail. In our previous lessons, we focused on understanding how to convert fractional numbers to the same denominator. Why did we cover that topic? Well, I mentioned that in order to add and subtract fractional numbers, it is imperative to have a common denominator. Consequently, our objective for today's lesson is to master the skill of adding and subtracting fractions with different denominators. So, how do we go about achieving this? What steps do we need to take to successfully add or subtract these fractions? Let's begin by examining an example. For the purpose of illustration, let's explore the addition of 3/5 and 1/2. What steps do we need to take to accomplish this task? It is crucial to note that when adding or subtracting fractional numbers, we must compare the denominators first. These denominators must be the same. If they are not equal, we cannot proceed with adding or subtracting these fractions. Therefore, it is necessary for the denominators to match in order to add fractions together. We already know the method for achieving this. So let us recall how to find a common denominator for fractional numbers. What is the first step? We need to determine the least common multiple of both 5 and 2. What number would that be? What do you and I do? We choose the larger of these numbers, that's 5, and we check. Is 5 divisible by 5? Yes, it's divisible by 5. Is 5 divisible by 2? No, it doesn't. Then what? I multiply 5 by 2 and I get 10. You can do that with an oral counting exercise. But I'm going to write it down so you understand what we're doing and where we're getting this common denominator from. So 5 times 2, that would be 10. And now I'm checking. Does 10 divide by 5? Yes, it does. Does 10 divide by 2? Yes, it does. Only if you answer these questions positively can you write down the common denominator. So that's 10. The next step is to bring the fractions to a common denominator. Specifically, we need to bring together 3/5 and 1/2. To achieve this, we can use the method of division. Firstly, if we divide 10 by 5, we obtain 2, which serves as an additional multiplier. Secondly, if we divide 10 by 2, we get 5. What is the next step? What should I do now? I need to multiply 2 by 3 and 2 by 5. 2 times 3 and 2 times 5. The outcome will be a fraction equivalent to 6/10. I have to calculate it. And another fraction. I start with the number 5 and multiply it by 1, then I multiply it by 2. I repeat this process twice and obtain the result of 5/10. What's next? I now have 2 fractional numbers with a common denominator. I haven't added or removed any crucial details to retain the text meaning. Only then can I add these fractions. So instead of 3/5, I write 6/10. So 3/5 is 6/10, plus instead of 1/2, I write down a fraction of 5/10. And as a result of that, I ensure that we use a common denominator by finding the same one. The denominators are not added together, but rather fixed and written down once we have reached a common denominator. In tenths, we have 10. So let's combine the top numbers, and the outcome will be a fraction equal to 11 divided by 10. That's our solution. The only thing is, it's customary in math is to emphasize the whole part if possible. 11/10 is 1 whole and 1/10. That is, in order to add fractions with different denominators, we first bring them to a common denominator. That is, we do the first step. That is, we make the denominators equal. Equal, then we fix this denominator equal, and the numerators are already added, and the result is the answer. If it is possible, then allocate the whole part, or reduce the given fraction and write down the final answer. In the next lesson, we will analyze an example where we will subtract fractional numbers. And that's all for today. Goodbye. See you again.